All right. Hey there, Flagler County. Danielle Anderson, your host of Lifeline, the radio show connecting you to positivity in our community. And we are behind the scenes here. We got Eddie Ling in the studio. Good morning.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for coming. I know you're super busy with everything.
Yeah, well, you're busy too. I was glad to have a minute with Miss Anderson here.
Oh my gosh. I was like, I don't know. Last time I saw you, you were calling bingo.
Yeah, I'm not good at that. I've been told by everybody because they weren't winning. It's my fault.
I thought it was great. I won the first time, and it was maybe the first or second time, and I got like some kind of like love basket, and I was like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah, that's right. You did win. You won. Yeah, that was the second game I think you won. Yeah, that's right.
You know, it was crazy. Is I was so
so
scared.
You like me as a bingo caller?
I was like, that works for me, and I was scared to say, you never really know. Like you think you got bingo, but you're not really sure. You want to be like, I think I got bingo, but can we check?
Well, so just to be transparent. I mean, I kind of checked when everybody brought their things up. I just assumed that you were being honest.
Oh, my God. I can be honest, and I still need to double check. I'm like, I know I got it, but just double check it for me. So if you don't know what we're talking about Vincent's Clubhouse. It's this amazing enrichment center, a group of people that are doing wonderful things to help kids in our community. And that's really how, Eddie and I connected, because you do all these other things here in the community, but Vincent's Clubhouse is really special to your heart.
It is. With, we talked once before, and I said when we found out my son was autistic, my wife, because she's the boss of the family, so she started looking for things. All right, so we obviously we have to look for support groups and groups that people can relate, that we can relate with and learn from. Whether younger, older, and the first event we did was Easter egg hunt with Vincent's Clubhouse, and we were nervous. We were like, oh, how's this gonna go? But it was just seeing kids that were just like Max made us feel comfortable. And it just kind of trickled down from that. Like, it was just kind of like, all right, well, now we have that village, because it takes a village and all aspects, but it takes a village. And with their autistic kids, it takes a village, and we found ours.
And it's so cool. And what America's been able to do is absolutely amazing. It just...
This was her dream, her baby, 2016. Started out with the camps. She was working full time, so it was hard to. I mean, and we have a lot of 501(c)(3)s here in the community, and it's hard to work full time and run these five. I mean, it's another job.
Yeah.
But the right things just came into place in this last year, and getting a location. Thank you to Debbie Lynch, and just finding the right spot. Thanks to Trademark, they were selling their real estate office. It worked out right there in European Village. I mean, everything just kind of aligned up. The Realtor Association has been very helpful. And now, obviously, I'm a realtor by day or at night and 24 hours. But but the Realtor Association has really jumped in and kind of jumped in with donations and just volunteering and just kind of getting the word out. Erica's coming to speak to our general membership, I think, at our March meeting, and they take it in, because we move people here and people with autism, and we're one of the only organizations that like kind of gives you that support group or the education or just being around parents that understand and not feeling, I don't know, isolated. When you're around other parents that they look, oh, they'll be fine, but they don't. Matt, like, my son is great. Like, you'll see my son, and if you saw my son, right, everybody would be like, oh, he's doing great. He's doing wonderful things. He's fine. He'll be fine. You could bring him here. You could bring him there. But we see him at home, and most of the time he's great, but sometimes he's winning.
Yeah.
He's winning.
I think any parent can say that about their kid, though. You're like,
he's winning.
I'm locking myself in the bathroom. We're good.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, with my wife, I mean, she does in our home. She does the legwork. She got my son situated with his AAC device, because he's nonverbal. He's talking and more, but he's got this device that he can, press the button, like if he's angry or if he's alone, or leave me alone. He likes that one, leave me alone. but it curbs that frustration that he gets when he can't communicate. So he might be, and he doesn't know, but he does know. It's just not coming out, and he goes on the tablet like normal, it's kids, and then he'll go, leave me alone, angry. But all right, we give him a couple minutes. He comes back, everything's fine.
It's helping him articulate his feelings.
It's probably one of the best things we've done. I mean, I was always against it. My wife was always for it because I always used to think that it was not. I thought he was going to delay him more. I was like, well, then he's just going to use this. Like, why is he going to want to talk? He's going to have this. I mean, there's adults that would rather have that and go, here,
Right.
leave me alone. But yeah, I think, I mean, good thing she does everything that needs to be done, and she doesn't listen to me when I say no. So
Tell us. Okay, so let's back it up. I mean, how old is Max right now?
Max will be 9 in April, so he's 8, and so that'd be 9 in April.
So tell me a little bit about how you came to be in Palm Coast, and then talk about Max and his birth and you guys finding out.
So I ended up in Palm. My grandfather moved here back with ITT days back in the day. So I always knew Palm Coast. When I moved to Florida from New York, it was 2003. I moved to Naples first. Was down there, lived there. I mean, Naples is a beautiful area. It's richer than I knew. And ended up getting divorced. I moved up here. I met my wife up here. I was always attracted to people that were from New York. So I knew she was from New York. She was from Long Island. I was from New York. And it's like, we could relate. We know the same food. We probably know restaurants together. We know. So it was always something that. So we ended up. We met and we got together and we were together for a few years. And obviously Max, came about, and I guess she started noticing because she's a nurse, and she started noticing. I think maybe after a year and a half, started noticing some challenges. He used to crawl, and so instead of crawling on all fours, he would drag his left leg.
Just his left leg.
Like he would drag it. So he would be on one knee, 2 feet, and just drag. It was weird. It was just little things. And then, when we go to the doctor, because now they ask you how many words is he saying, and we could tell he wasn't verbalizing things. There was a lot of things that we noticed. Actually, okay, I retract. A lot of things she noticed that I was like, oh, he's fine. He'll grow out of it. I didn't know anything of it. I knew nothing of autism, and neither did she. But she, being a nurse, she saw the signs. And then, we went to Easter Seals. Easter Seals did their evaluation. I mean, if I try to recall the day that we knew, like, he's got autism, I wasn't scared. It was, we cried. I believe we both, cried, whether it was together or separately. It was just kind of trying to be strong for each other. But it was just like, all right, well, this is going to be a new world. Because, I have 3 other children that, everything's great. They're college graduates and jobs and everything. I didn't really know what to expect with this. But, God only gives us what we can handle. And unfortunately, sometimes I don't think I can handle it. But because, he's not in school anymore. He's homeschooled. The school wasn't working out. There's just so much. There's so much of him that, as parents, with kids with autism, like, we worry about, like, what's going to happen when he's older, when we're not here.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to take care of him? Even talking about this now, I'm going to start crying because I try not to think about it, but I know I have to think about it.
We hear that a lot from a lot of parents,
Yeah.
and they're like, whether it's Down syndrome, autism, anything,
Any specialty,
anything, they're just like, I don't know, what's going to happen.
Yeah, and it's scary. And I know. I have my parents, but chances are, I don't want my parents, knock on wood, they don't go, but they'll go first, and I talk to my brothers about it, and but I don't want it to be a burden on them because I don't know how Max is going to be as an adult. Is he going to be more independent? And that's part of the reason why. So I'm a member. Obviously we're all self-serving, and I want what's best for Max, my son. That's it, right? But I also like being a part of Business Clubhouse, knowing Vincent is 16, and knowing that there's adults in the adult program that are older. Like I got to see what they're going through. What trials and tribulations do they have going forward? Where, all right, so I need to make sure we can make those changes for Max. I want to make sure that we don't have the same issues. Like I see Vincent going through things. I'm like, all right, I see Max going that way. How can we change that trajectory to make it better? Now, not that there will always be problems in the future, but I want to help. I want to help everybody. Being in real estate, trying affordable housing and where are these kids going to live? And, I would love that, but that's like a hot topic. Affordable housing for workforce housing, affordable housing, special needs housing. Everybody wants housing.
Yeah, everybody needs a roof.
Yeah, but how do you do that? Like, what is the answer? It's just like, what is the answer? I mean, I really do. I want to see kids succeed. We have these adults, they're doing so well. Like when I stop by the Clubhouse, see some of the things they're doing in their adult program, it's like you get a little tear because it's like, and now I know this is here for Max though. Like, and this will be here moving forward. And, all right, Max, even when he finishes homeschool is 18, like he maybe have someplace to come and maybe learn those life skills that whatever he doesn't have, or balance a checkbook, or little things that maybe he will be on his own. That's the goal. I mean, I would love him to be on his own. If he's with me forever, so be it. He'll be my friend, my buddy, my son, everything. But if he's not, I mean, if he wants to be on his own, it's going to be great. And I want him to succeed. Is he going to go to Harvard? I mean, I don't think so. I mean, unless he's going to trick me in a couple of years and all of a sudden he's, doing quantum physics.
You never know.
Which would be great. I mean, I'll take it. But my expectations are high, but I don't get disappointed, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't get disappointed. Like, he has his moments and he has those rough days. And when he has those rough days, we have those rough days. I mean, every day, like I leave the house, my wife works from home, and, we have an RBT who's amazing. Her name is Sandra. She comes to the house every day. She does his schoolwork with him. She does his behavior stuff with him. And he loves her because she was actually his para at school. And she quit, got this RBT job, and became our RBT.
That is awesome.
So it's like everything worked out for us at home. And he has rough days. And like when I'm at work sometimes and I'm sitting there, we have cameras, and I'll put the camera in and he's having a rough one today. You could tell. And you just feel horrible. Like, what can we do to make it better? Because sometimes he just can't express himself the way, you and I do.
So are there things that you've learned along the way that you see that we could be doing as a society? How can families be more supported? So
for an example, like think about when you're in a restaurant and you see that kid that's just, acting out, and I don't mean just a normal behavior, but just really acting out.
It feels like as you're watching a temper tantrum.
Yeah, sometimes we have to give grace, and I think giving grace is the key, because even when I didn't have Max and we saw a kid, we're like, oh, look at this, but now it's like I look around, and I see other kids screaming and yelling. It's like you want to just go to that parent and say, it's okay, he's being a kid, we get you. Just give that little support. I mean, because the stares are I know my wife alone, when she gets stares, sometimes I wonder if I'm going to have to bail her out because she's going to hurt somebody. Dude. Because I just don't, like, it really is scary. I mean, because why are you staring? Like, we're not bad parents. It's you don't know what's happening here, but just be more supportive, I guess, and show grace. That's the key.
I think as a society, it's become more prevalent to talk about autism and special needs. Like, I remember exactly what you're saying is I was getting my hair done one time, and this woman came in, and her child, like halfway through her appointment, just was on the floor, was just completely out of control. And the mom was doing the best she could, and when they left, everybody was like, and then my hairdresser was like, oh my gosh, that's one of the few times she's able to come in and get her hair done. Her child has autism, and that's just what her life is like. And like everybody I could feel everybody going, oh my gosh, we just judged that lady and had no idea what she was going through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now, like, people, I think it's been a lot since like Surfers with Autism has come to town.
Yes.
And become,
which is a big event.
Yeah. And everybody now has gotten more involved with it, and people are starting to be a little more understanding and really get a grasp of what's going on. Everybody in the community just like embraces it now. And it's like, okay, cool. How can we help?
Yeah. And that's what Vincent's Clubhouse. I mean, that's why I push, like, and I don't mean to be a broken record, but I push Vincent's Clubhouse. I mean,
you should.
We are. I mean, Easter Seals is here too, and they rent a space. But like we're here. Like, we are ingrained in this. We are the community. Easter Seals is a national organization. They do great things, but we are ingrained in this community.
Well, you're living it.
Yeah, we're living it. So that's. I mean, we're not just people that are just helping kids with. We all have our child with autism. We're all going through it. Like I said, and it's we do a support group at Vincent's Clubhouse. Amanda Redwine, she does the support group. She leads it or facilitates it for us. And just listen to the parents. Like, we talk about like what our struggles were for the week or for the month, or what our goal. What was a win? A win could be like for me at one point, Max wasn't leaving the house. So a win for me would have been Max went and got a haircut. That was that was win. Like, and which is ironic. We just got a haircut yesterday. We prepared him for it. I picked him up yesterday, got in the car real quick. We drove down there, walked up. He said, "Hey, Kel," and jumped in his chair, got the haircut, got out. He was high-fiving. I mean, like, where to last haircut, it was like I was crying leaving because it was like, oh my God, he was so miserable. He was moving. He was doing this. He was so anxious. Yesterday was great. So that's a win. Like, that's a win. We take those little, you see, you take those for granted, sometimes, but that's like the most exciting thing is when, yesterday was amazing. Like, he was such a rock star. Like, my wife was like, "How'd he do?" She texted me and I'm like, he was great. She goes, "Oh, that's great." I know. I said, he was beyond great. I said, this kid was amazing yesterday. And those are like, it really is, as a father, and I know my wife, because I support my wife 100%, and I know that sometimes she takes it in, because I know she knows that I'm emotional, and she knows that, like, I get upset about things because we look at him together, and it's like I said, all those things run through your head, but the good moments are like treasured because you want to have more of those. And last time we took him to SeaWorld, he was wonderful. He's great. We were there for 6 hours. We bought him a wagon so he didn't have to walk. My arm hurt, but he was fine. But the time before that, he was miserable. Like, it was a lot of walking. It was a lot of, so like we have to adjust. And, Max doesn't have a time schedule. So if you tell Max, "Hey, we got to be out at 8:00, he doesn't care. So we need to get him up at 6 to get him prepared for 8 because, he just, but it's like I said, I have, with my wife, me and Max, we're just, it's such a solid, I love my family, and it's
units.
Yeah. And me and my wife we can get mad at each other. We fight, she can say, "Get out." I can say, "Get out." But the fact of the matter is we know, like, this is our team. We get angry, but we don't go to bed angry, and I give her a kiss every day when I leave. And it's great. And I wouldn't be able to, I don't know. Listen, this is going to be a little bit more personal, but I'm divorced twice before this. So I went through a couple. I don't know if I could have done this with anybody else than my wife, Michelle. She's been,
She's the rock star.
she does it all. So I admit it. My wife, everybody's watching and listening this morning. Yes, my wife is the rock. I'm just like she's the behind the scenes person, and I'm the flashy guy on the outside.
You're the fluffy teddy bear.
Yeah,
right.
that's right. The fluffy realtor. That's me.
We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to talk about how other parents can find their wins in the day too. So we'll be right back. But we're really not going anywhere because we're taking a commercial break. All right. Ready, Mark? Okay. So we're back with Eddie Lang, the big fluffy
realtor.
Commercial realtor. Can you commercial?
I do commercial, but just a fluffy realtor is fine.
Fluffy realtor. I was going to say fluffy rock star, but he's like fluffy realtor. Yeah. So like, we're talking about those wins and things like that. And there are new parents who are starting out. They're really trying to get their feet on the ground and get an understanding of how to navigate this. How do they get in the door of Vincent's Clubhouse?
So for Vincent, they just need to show up. That's the start. Like, if you don't know what we are, we're on Facebook. We have a website, vincentsclubhouse.org. We have Facebook, Vincent's Clubhouse. You just got to come to us. We'll guide you. We have support groups. We have education series that we actually partner with Flagler Schools. Yesterday, our education series was on the AAC devices. We have the NeuroSpicy group. They met last night. I saw that on Facebook. They're the adults. The adult, and that's actually led by one of the adult members. Like, it was his idea.
Wow.
So, and they had a great turnout. I was watching the picture because I was at the educational series. He was there. It was a great turnout. Like, they looked like they had such a great time. and these kids, this is where they're meeting new friends that they normally wouldn't have met. But realistically, parents, they just have to come talk to us. We'll guide you in the right direction. We're no judgment. There's no judgment at all. We'll help you. We'll guide you, and we're there for you. We're going to add to your village is basically what's going to come down to.
Do you guys ever do? I know, sometimes the recs or community centers will do things like parents' night out, where they can bring their child and leave them, and the parents can go on a date and have some time together. So
we haven't done that yet, but that's a plan. It's an idea for us because we're in European Village and there's places that they don't have to drive away and go far away. We thought about that because me and my wife don't get an opportunity to go out that often. When we do, we enjoy that moment. I enjoy it more than she does because she's watching Max on the camera. But it's we need a break.
Yeah.
Like I even tell my wife, I mean, like I tell her just go by yourself. Like because we're on that plan now where I do things and you see me all over. I mean, city council meetings here, Vincent's Clubhouse.
But I've never seen your wife.
Yeah, because she's at home.
Him.
Yeah, with him. I mean, it's just the way it is. So yes, that's a plan, and me and Erica have talked about it, and I think, like especially this summer, I think we want to try it, and we'll do like maybe a $20 drop off, go have dinner for 2 hours, pick one of the restaurants there, La Piazza, any of the restaurants that are over there, or even have drinks, whatever you want to do.
You're still close enough, but you
yes,
still get a
you're
break.
close, but you get and that, God forbid something happens, you can just walk over.
That's amazing. And the European Village is such a perfect place for you guys.
Oh my! Isn't
for anybody would be loved.
It's a cool little place. I mean, I think we forget that what a gem European Village is.
Awesome.
I mean, it's had its ups and downs, but it's just a cool little place.
Oh my gosh! So, what do you love most about being part of Vincent's Clubhouse?
Because
it's got to be a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a job. I mean, it's a job. It's a job that doesn't pay me. It's a job.
You're a realtor, isn't it the same thing?
Yeah, exactly. It's just exactly like my job as a realtor. I just kind of show houses and say, "Hey, thanks."
Right.
No, it is a lot of work, but I guess the reward is just knowing that I'm helping. Like I'm helping people that that normally wouldn't have gotten help somewhere else. Like. I mean, Palm Coast. Like, I mean, it's very, services are hard and far and few in between. That's why we do our autism festival.
Yeah.
So April 5th, when we do our autism festival, we bring all these services, OTs, RBTs, BCBA, all these different services that could help with your child with autism. We bring them all there. So maybe you didn't know that. Oh, this is a speech therapist I could use, and this is what we do. We bring all these services. Vincent's Clubhouse is just. I don't know. The reward is just me knowing that I'm creating a village for my community because I love this. I love Palm Coast. I don't care what anybody says. All these meetings I go and I see people arguing, complaining about council. Palm Coast is an amazing city, and I don't think people realize how amazing Palm Coast really is. I know we have our gripes about this and that, but Palm Coast in general, we have some great people here. I don't know if I'd want to be anywhere else. I know I don't want to go back to New York. So, but I don't know if I'd be anywhere else. But Palm Coast is amazing. And Vincent's Clubhouse being a part of that and just being a part where I can help something in this community and be a part of it is just, reward enough at this point.
Do you ever envision Vincent's Clubhouse growing into a community with residential and businesses, places for people for them to work?
So that would be amazing. It would be amazing. I don't know his name off the top of my head, but there was a gentleman in Orlando. His son has autism, and he was working on a whole development, just like you just said, a whole development like apartments, townhomes, jobs, a Publix. So instead of like a 55 and older community, it'd be a special needs autism community. It would have their services on there, like staff. So that's always the dream. But again. Everybody wants housing. Everybody wants this. We all have these dreams. I see Vincent's Clubhouse morphing into, I don't want to say a school, but just because the kids here, when they turn 22, they're out of Flagler schools. And then there's really nothing else.
But what do you do with your day?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Transportation is not around. Like, we don't have much transportation. We have, the Flagler transportation, but they don't run on weekends. They don't even run on weekends. So how do these people get around? So just keeping Vincent's Clubhouse open and making maybe just a facility where they're going to be able to continue on, and we want to get into work study with these guys. We want to do like artwork and sell their artwork at the farmers market because some of them are they're so talented, and you just wouldn't know. You wouldn't know unless you just kind of gave them a shot.
And Vanessa Cole is doing something really cool with you guys too, right?
Vanessa is amazing. The Coffee News is doing so. Today they were delivering. They were delivering today. So it's so cool that they could sit and they talk and they hi to everybody and people are getting to know them. That's one of probably the coolest things that we've done so far. Vanessa's amazing, and to do the Coffee News was great.
Well, tell listeners a little bit about it.
So basically for Vanessa Cole, she delivers that Coffee News, that thing that you see at all the different restaurants and things that you pick it up while you're waiting for your food and you're eating. And we at Vincent's Clubhouse are adult kids or kids. I call them kids because I'm old now. But our adult students, they actually on Thursday, every other Thursday, they get delivery, and they deliver to all the different businesses in North Palm Coast, off of Palm Coast Parkway, that area, and they gets them to socialize. It gives them like a job, a sense of purpose. So it's amazing. I mean, they love it. They're so happy. On the Wednesday before, they sort all the papers out, and they got to count, and there's like a whole process to it. I mean, it's not like just kind of throwing newspapers. It's a whole process, but they're doing amazing. They're doing amazing.
So if anybody out there who's a business owner and you have an opportunity, Eric, I know, would love to expand and do other things. So it's a great chance to give everybody something to do and help your community at the same time.
Definitely.
So if people want to get more information on Vincent's Clubhouse, where should they go?
So Vincent's Clubhouse, you can, come see us at European Village. We're right smack in the middle next to Cork and Pint. You can go to our website, vincentsclubhouse.org, or you can go to our Facebook page, Vincent's Clubhouse. You could direct message us on that, and we get back to you as soon as we can. There's a bunch of people that have access to answer any questions or let you know. And that's where all our events are too, like our support group dates and our education and all the different dates that we have. We have different socials. We have movie and pajama nights. I mean, so many things happening. So yeah, just check out our Facebook page. Really is probably the best now. I mean, Vincent's Clubhouse Facebook page.
All right. And what's the date of the Autism Festival?
Autism Festival is April 5th. Actually, the radio station, 92.7, and Beach will be there.
Oh, great.
Laura Z, I guess, will be broadcasting taped live, I guess it's called, or live taped.
No, she's like live remote.
Live remote, yeah, something like that. So she'll be there, and so we're happy that the radio station will be there, and you guys, because you guys have been very supportive as well here at the station. So, but April 5th, it's a Saturday, and it's from 11 to 3.
And it's free, right?
Free to come. We're going to have a kids zone. We're going to have all this stuff. There are going to be people selling stuff too, like little knickknacks, like a farmer's market type of thing. But then we'll have the services there, and that's the main point. And really just kind of get the community together for Autism Awareness Month.
In Town Center, right?
No, this year is at European Village.
Oh, it'll be at the Village.
European Village. Yeah,
wow.
so that way we can center, our center point will be and we'll have some baskets auctioned off, because it's going to be a little fundraiser for us, because it's having a 501c and an organization is not cheap.
No kidding, especially when the kids are involved.
Yes. So,
Eddie, thanks for sharing all this information.
I love it. I appreciate you asking me to be on. Thank you so much.
Glad to have you on air anytime. So we want to thank WNZF News Radio, Flagler News Weekly, Massage by Natalie and Company, the Vigilante Philanthropists, and our local Benjamin Moore Paint Store here in Palm Coast.